What's going on, everybody? Dave's here. Voice of Autism, episode 118. Well, what did they do? Something crazy happening in the Philippines right now, and talking volcano erupted. I know it don't involve autism, but I'm bringing it up with the volcano very close to Manila, about 31 to 35 miles from the capital of Manila. But it did kind of got me shooken up. But everything is going all right. But yeah, it's crazy, but I'm keeping my eyes out on volcanoes. It erupted, it cried down some, but that I think is kind of a red flag because I think they're going to be doing a bigger eruption that I'm probably going to have, and also one might be bigger than the 1911 one. Which they said was the war eruption that have happened, but I think this might be a worse one coming up. But I'll be keeping my eyes on that. And yes, me and my fiance Val are doing a lot better now. I'll have a link to her YouTube channel down in the description down below if you guys want to go to her YouTube channel. But we're doing a lot better. But I also been checking up on what's been going on. A lot of crazy stuff been going on right now. Also, a lot of stuff been going on in the autism community. What are we? And I did drove some today. Or I drove some tonight. First time I ever drove at night. Way crazy. But not expecting that at all. Literally. Way crazy. But yeah, let me adjust my camera angle. But it was my first time driving at night. Well, amazing, but I'm a little nervous. First time, but yeah. But it's crazy on what's been going on right now. Now, being autistic and learning how to drive is a little bit hard. But it can be pretty good once you get a hang of it. For the people who don't know. But yeah. That crazy. We're gonna to be kind of cool. And clever. But yeah. My fiance did a song. Amazing. Well, I'll probably show you guys later on. Toward the end of the video, but wow. And then I gotta make sure I know if I'm gonna have work this week or next week, and I'm hoping to be able to get them, which I will be able to have a chance to do them around fanning. Like, in a way. But yeah. 1 minute. Oh. That's crazy. I just got pranked by somebody on my Facebook. That's it happened. But don't let me have, but I do get pranked on my Like, you know, like it happens. Hmm. Is there having a dark mode? Oh wow, that I never knew of. But I did got a whole load of pranked, if you guys know what I mean. I don't know how, but oh, by the way, for those people who use Messenger, like needfully be careful because there will be some people who set stuff up and make it look like you're texting them and play a prank on you. I already had that almost happen to me a few times. And ironically, I delete those before anybody see them. With a good thing. Like literally. Because sometimes you cannot joke about that. Even in front of autistic because it can be bad for them. Like I've seen what it can do. It actually have ruined a couple people's lives before. So I try to avoid it as much as I can. Like literally. Hmm. I am looking up memes too. Well, I define funny, but there are a lot of funny stuff out there that get me laughing. Hmm. hmm. Why? But it's a funny scene. Hmm. Interesting. And the oldest dog died today, for people who don't know. But yeah, I drove some earlier today, or technically tonight. Like it was already dark when I was driving home from the store. It was first time, and that was crazy, but first time ever, and it mind blown. Crazy in a way, like, but yeah. I'm not trying to brag here, but it is crazy, Gene, if you did think about it. And I just popped my neck. But yeah, uh, uh, not that. Sorry about that, guys. And yes, I am feeling a little tired. But I am actually thinking about getting a plane ticket next week, or actually, I will be. I decided that I will be getting a plane ticket at whatever cost to get them to the week. If you guys know what I mean. Like, it might sound crazy, but I'm going to do it. Cannot wait much longer for it. If you guys know what I mean. But let me get to for you that we're going to be doing today. So you gotta find what I'm looking at. Oh, here's something. There have been some stuff that I have not on the YouTube channel yet. But yeah.
A great thanks to L. Von Douglas from Planet Autistic for allowing me to share this fan art movie poster. There's not only advocacy. Autistic Spaces can also promote autistic culture this way through art. Web links.
That is true. Now we have the full post of it.
Coming soon January 2020 to the nearest theater from you. Clapperboard film projector film frames. Clapperboard film projector film frames. Clapperboard film projector film frames. Image, a fan movie poster of a planetary scene in space with two planets slightly lit by a star with the edited transparent faces of a beardless brown-haired French Brazilian autistic and a purple-hair autistic women. The text says, Louis Brunel, L. Von Douglas. The catchphrase, a place for neurodivergence. And right below the title, Planet Autistic 2020. With the permission of L. Von Douglas, I've made this on celebration of her page Planet Autistic reaching right before next year 1K subs. When I talk about not only advocacy pages but ND artist fan art platform, I mean content such as this.
That I find amazing. Like, literally.
Lol, this looks super cozy. Thumbs up. Light skin tone blocks out sensory nuisances such as bright light. Movement of passers-by. This could be the norm. Heart certainly should be acceptable without ridicule. Asking Autistic's hashtag AskingGaders, what helps you keep focused on a task? Sensory protection hashtag proudly autistic hashtag boundaries guitar musical notes.
I have a lot of stuff that help me, or stuff that I can use. It's just that back in high school, I'm not even able to use them because of all the bull crap until my last year of high school. That much started changing.
Lol, this looks super cozy. Thumbs up. Light skin tone.
I changed my chip that at home. But, But let's get to the next scene. Where it's something that I need.
Astonished face danger, predator alert. Angry face. Diana Drion, a BCBA, ABBA proponent, is mass friend requesting autistics. Thumbs down. Light skin tone. That's suspicious and shady as F. Request denied. Harmful, dangerous solicitor. Yes, Alaba is abuse and should be criminalized. She friended a ton of autistics just the past day or two. I refuse to be a sheep suit for this suspicious wolf. No safe haven for hashtag child abuse. Actually autistic hashtag predator alert hashtag proudly autistic.
Got that right, and here's our part of it.
This person has more than 130 common friends on her FB list, and most of them are hashtag actually autistic comrades I know. The screenshots speak about themselves. Here's another Abear grooming for hashtag actually autistic friend requests while describing on her platform what she consider high-functioning autistics in a very poor way, as if we were intrinsically rude and inconsiderate. Perhaps you've already been subjected to one of her friend requests recently.
I have,
Stay
and I
safe from grifters
her.
like this. These people are not allies. They are a nuisance for autistic rights. Manaba. Criminalizaba. Yes, Alaba.
Yeah, that's right. We need to chronologize it. Be more exact. But yeah. Okay, I'll be on it. Middle area right here on my bed is hard when I sleep at night. I'll be honest. I can't sleep with the middle scene. Like, it's hard. Like, literally. And it gave me a hard time sleeping. But yeah. I gotta find a way to custom it if I can figure out. Okay, I might wait that for next live stream. But yeah. But it's crazy. I know I've been so done with long videos, but because I've been getting so busy lately with working, which for people who don't know, that right there right there are part of my Walmart uniform for when I go to work for Walmart. So, yeah. But, yeah. Your job are pretty good. But, yeah. My job at home. Let's see. Do one. You know? Because it always good. But it's amazing. Oh, and people who are in my live stream, feel free to talk to me and ask me questions. Feel free. Because it's always better to ask an autistic person for help than someone who is not autistic if you know somebody or a family member who is autistic, or trying to figure out if you are autistic or not. Because everybody on the spectrum is different.
Autism news and resources from autistic people. If not ABBA, then what? Maxfield Sparrow. Unstrangement.com. Photo copyright Akawa K. Creative Commons license. Image, Taiwanese mother and child playing together. In a sandbox, and smiling for the camera. In the 2.5 years since I published my essay on ABBA therapy, and it was republished in the book The Real Experts, I have been asked this question more than any other. You've convinced me to avoid compliance-based therapies.
Mm-hmm.
But what else is there? We are not coping well in my house. What can we do? I have spent the last couple of years answering that question again and again, on an individual level. I knew I needed to write this essay answering that question, but life kept getting in the way. Still, the question kept coming from people all over, and I knew I could put it off no longer. So here we are, dear reader, and I hope that I am able to offer you some help and hope with these words. You are a parent who is struggling and feeling desperate, but you're firm in your resolution to avoid subjecting your children to dog training techniques and spirit-crushing compliance methods.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about your alternatives for one of the most common situations in which families tend to end up bringing ABBA into their lives: aggressive behavior. We're afraid for our lives. I've heard this from so many parents. Their children lash out and hurt others. The children grow older, bigger, and stronger and continue to lash out. The family fears for their lives. In some cases, the police get involved and the children end up with involuntary commitment, facing criminal charges, or even injured or killed in extreme cases. No one wants this for their child. No family wants to be forced to choose between fear for their child and fear of their child. It's small wonder that families end up choosing ABBA and medications that serve as chemical straitjackets.
Mm-hmm.
Situations can get scary fast, and families can feel helpless. But there are many things you can do to keep everyone calm, keep situations from escalating, and even keep situations from happening at all. I am not going to reinvent the wheel here, because so much great advice has already been written and published on dealing with aggression. Instead, I'm going to curate the best advice I've seen online through the years. That means this essay requires you to do a lot of extra outside reading, but it also means you are about to get so much more great advice than I could fit into the few thousand words of just one essay. I'd like to start with the excellent aggression checklist from We Are Like Your Child. It is a great list of things to consider about your child's environment and health in order to understand the source of the aggression.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to add that the aggression will not always appear right next to the triggering event. What do I mean by that? Let me explain with an example. Maybe reports from school say that your child is well behaved at school, but you are noticing a lot of aggression at home. You have examined all aspects of your home environment and just can't figure out what is triggering the aggression. You've tried asking your child to help you figure out what's wrong, but they haven't yet developed the ability to communicate the problem clearly. It is possible that the aggression trigger isn't happening in your home at all. Maybe there is bullying on the school bus, or maybe the school is using some of the techniques that you have been warned about in my ABBA essay, or the We Are Like Your Child checklist. Or maybe the trigger is something else entirely, but still something not in your home.
Mm-hmm.
So why is your child or teen or young adult being so aggressive at home instead of in the place where the triggering problem is occurring? The answer: because your child feels safe at home. The problem is like a flame under a boiler and the pressure is building in your child. But if letting that steam escape is too dangerous, say, for example, it leads to takedowns, restraints, seclusion rooms, or worse, your child learns to hold the pressure in for self-protection. But there's only so long a person can do that. As soon as it's safe, the steam explodes out in the form of aggressive behavior. This is why it is so important to look at every part of your child's environment when you're trying to figure out why aggressive behavior is happening. Sometimes aggression is the only way your child has to communicate that something is wrong. Abba might be able to stop the aggression, yes. But at what cost? Do you want your child to be trained to put up with pain and abuse? Of course you don't. That was a ridiculous question. But it comes with an obvious answer. Don't use behaviorism to train your child out of aggression. Ferret out the source of the aggression and remedy it. It might be something in the environment. It might be the way someone is treating your child. It might be a health issue your child is struggling with. Whatever it is, play detective. Figure it out and help your child. In the case for backing the frick off at the blog Love Explosions, Beth Ryan explains why she advises reducing autistic kids' therapies and interventions. For some people, this will be counterintuitive. Parents are usually encouraged to believe that more problems should be addressed with more therapies and interventions. But Beth suggests more accommodations and respect instead, and I completely agree with her.
That's true.
Beth talks about learning how to handle her daughter's hair in ways that are less painful and more pleasant, thus reducing outbursts. Abba would work to train Beth's daughter to put up with the pain and misery without complaint. Beth took the much simpler route of learning how to be more gentle and touch her daughter's hair in ways that weren't so painful and awful. I spend a lot of time thinking about what sets Evie off in any way. And I try my very best to support her by accommodating her whenever I can. It's such a simple solution, really. Figure out what sets someone off and avoid that. Sometimes avoiding a trigger can be easy. Other times it can be quite involved. In my book, The ABCs of Autism Acceptance, I wrote about a parent whose autistic daughter would have a meltdown if someone used the stove. Careful investigative work never revealed what it was about the stove that bothered the girl, so the family just stopped using it. They would cook using the microwave or crock pot, serve cold lunches like sandwiches and salads, or order delivery food. It was an unusual solution that required the entire family to adjust, but it worked and resulted in a happy and secure child who was not experiencing overwhelming anxiety leading to aggression. When you accommodate your child, you may encounter resistance from family members, extended family, friends, neighbors, professionals. People might tell you that you are coddling your child or catering to them. Stand firm. Your child or teen or young adult is not misbehaving on purpose. They are trying to cope with a world that is a sensory nightmare, and anything you can do that increases their sense of stability and safety is a loving gift to them. I hope you are beginning to see that the aggressive behavior is coming from something that is painful and difficult for your child. You want to stop the aggression because it frightens you, but you really want to stop the aggression because it is coming from a place of great suffering and you don't want your beloved child to suffer. Beth has another really helpful essay on Love Explosions, Caregiver Burnout. She opens by explaining how much she hates that phrase because it seems to imply that autistic children are burdens that grind down their parents. But she also finds that incendiary phrase a great jumping off point for discussing how her family have chosen to help everyone live together in harmony, feeling safe and loved. Among the very valuable advice in Beth's essay is the caution that everyone absolutely must get enough sleep. I have visited with Beth's family and saw exactly what Beth describes in her essay. Her daughter gets good sleep and Beth keeps a monitor turned on so that she can hear the moment her daughter is awake and ready for Beth to come help her get her day started. Being well rested is crucial. I have watched other autistics completely fall apart and end up hospitalized simply because they weren't getting sufficient sleep to be able to self-regulate.
I'll be honest,
An important side note about health issues such as getting sufficient sleep or addressing digestive troubles like heartburn, IBS, etc., you will run into doctors who try to tell you that it is hopeless to address your autistic child's physical issues and that you should just give up. I know because not only do so many parents tell me that they have had to fight with doctors in order to get their child's health needs addressed, but I have had to fight with doctors as well to get my own needs met despite being a fairly articulate adult. There is a bias in the medical community that you will find yourself up against, a bias that says that autistics just suffer, we just cry, we just behave strangely for no reason, and we're all like that and there's nothing anyone can do about it. You have never given up on your child. Don't let the doctor give up on your child either. If your child needs help with sleep, pardon the pun, but don't rest until you get that help for them. If you suspect your child is experiencing heartburn, food allergies, digestive irritation,
I
etc.,
experienced heartburn a
keep
lot.
the doctor on task until the problem is investigated and solved. A lot of aggressive behavior happens because it is impossible to self-regulate when exhausted or in pain. I'd like to round this collection of information out with 4 articles by 4 different authors previously published on Thinking Person's Guide to Autism (TPGA). I consider TPGA a great resource for all sorts of needs, and the articles are written by a mix of parents, caring professionals, and autistic adults, providing a rich and full view of autistics and our needs throughout the lifespan. In Autistic Insights on Meltdowns, Aggression, and Self-Injury, Brent White and Lindsay Anderson talk about important guidelines including staying calm, protecting the autistic person who is in crisis, offering options, and slowing everything down. When someone else is being loud or aggressive, it can be hard to stay calm, but it is so crucial. If you allow yourself to get anxious and emotional too, it will amplify what is going on with your autistic family member. If you can remain calm and slow and steady, you will be offering yourself as a rock of stability and safety that will help your child to bring themselves out of their stressful state of being more easily. In Understanding Autism, Aggression, and Self-Injury, Medical Approaches and Best Support Practices, Dr. Clarissa Kripke offers sound advice based on her experience as a doctor and as a mother of an autistic teen. You're already familiar with much of her advice by now. Look for medical causes for behavior changes, foster communication, help keep caregivers well rested and supported with respite as needed. Something that is implied in Dr. Kripke's essay but stated explicitly in Beth's earlier essays is that respite is not just some kind of medical remedy meant to make life easier for a parent or other caregiver. Everyone in the family benefits from taking breaks from each other. Your autistic family members especially benefit from time apart. So many autistic people are emotional sponges, as Shannon Day Roche Rosa puts it. That phrase really resonates with me because I have used those exact words to describe myself even long before I was informed that I am autistic. Parenting is highly focused work that takes a lot out of a person. Parents of all children with all neurologies, need to take breaks and have me time to rejuvenate and return to parenting refreshed and rested. But we autistic emotional sponges also need time away from the intense emotional energies of others. Spending time with other family members besides parents or other trusted adults can be restful and renewing for autistic children as well. I also know families with more than one child who take time regularly to spend one-on-one time with each of their children, away from the other children in the family.
Well, I need to get
this special fun time focused just one child is very important too. Brothers and sisters need breaks from each other. Parents need breaks away from their partners, if they have them. Make sure everyone in your family is getting their needs met as far as special time with individual family members, me time, to be completely self-focused, and restful break time from the entire family. Togetherness helps a family grow in love, but sometimes too much togetherness can stunt that growth or even shatter a family apart. Like previous essays mentioned in this essay, Drive,
I have that problem.
Kripke's essay also talks about changing things in the environment that are triggering meltdowns, but adds advice about the differences between meltdowns and tantrums and suggestions about how to approach the two differently. A meltdown absolutely requires support and never punishment. Punishment is inappropriate for a tantrum as well, but the support looks completely different because a tantrum is an attempt to affect the behavior of others while a meltdown is an expression of complete overwhelm and is not driven by intentions of any sort. The second half of Dr. Kripke's essay is a marvelous capsule guide for surviving meltdowns. You really must read this. Dr. Kripke offers concrete step-by-step instructions for developing and implementing an action plan to cope with aggressiveness that comes from overwhelming anxiety. I can't even begin to do it justice in a short summary. It is simply required reading for anyone who loves an autistic person. I can't begin to express how valuable Drive, Kripke's words are. The last 2 essays came from a workshop on autistic aggression and meltdowns, and the third essay I recommend is from the same workshop as well. Shannon Day Roche Rosa provided an overview of the workshop's topics after introducing the 3 other speakers, and that overview is a valuable short essay in its own right, including some great checklists of things to look at in the environment that may be difficult for autistic people to cope with. Many things on the list are obvious to us autistics, but maybe not so obvious to the non-autistic people in our lives.
Nice to see you in
Things
the
like perfumes or flickering lights may be nearly invisible to most people, but can be overwhelming sensory assaults for us. The last essay I want to leave you with is by Brenda Rothman and is titled Adult Responses to Autistic Children Lead to Escalation or Calm. Brenda Rothman is exactly right when she describes how adult response choices can either help keep a child calm or escalate that child into meltdown. I can tell you that this is not just true with children. As an adult, people's responses to my anxiety have thrown me headlong into full-blown meltdown, while calm responses have pulled me out of meltdown even after I passed the point of no return. Do not underestimate the effect that your attitude and words have on your child. I understand that if your child hits you, and Brenda and I tell you that your response is what sets your child going even harder or helps your child reel it back in and calm down, you might feel like we are blaming the victim, but Brenda explains so well in her essay why that is exactly the wrong way to approach autistic aggression. You are not a victim. Your child's aggression is not a personal attack. Rothman reminds her readers that their children are not trying to hurt them. The children are disoriented, anxious, and suffering. If you think of yourself as a victim of your child, you will not be able to foster the sort of calm response your child needs to help them regain self-regulation and calm. Brenda Rothman offers some excellent advice for how to stay calm, how to respond to your child in distress, and how to address aggression with grace and love. You don't need ABBA for your child's aggression. In fact, ABBA is only likely to work in these instances by increasing but suppressing your child's level of trauma and suffering. Whatever caused your child to suffer so much that they lost control is still causing your child to suffer, but if the ABBA has done what it set out to do, your child has lost the only channel of communication available to them for expressing their pain and suffering in hopes of getting help with their distress. Don't take away your child's voice. Take away their suffering. ABBA is a cruel response to aggressive behavior. Meet that behavior with love, calm, support, and an investigative search for the source of your child's struggle instead. Learn why your child is getting so stressed out that they are frightening the people around them, and help make your child's life calmer, safer, and happier. That is what you were hoping ABBA would do, but I am here to tell you that ABBA cannot do that. It is your role as a loving parent, and you don't need a behaviorist. You just need the love and compassion you already have for your beautiful child. Dealing with aggression really is a situation in life where love conquers all. Go forth now and vanquish suffering with curiosity, compassion, and calmness.
Did happen that I did not get in elementary school. And hello, great train adventure. Glad that you could join in. I worry. But feel free to comment and ask me any questions if you got one. Like, literally. Oh, I am wearing my t-shirt. Oh. Oh. Yes, I did post a rail fan video yesterday. Here in Rebel now. I did. So, yes. Yes, I do film here in Ravenel when it comes to rail fanning because I got my own rail fanning series that I do here in Ravenel. So that is true. And so for that, I'll be subscribing to your YouTube channel too. Or technically, I'm already subscribed. I've been subscribed for a while, but yeah. And for people who are, I'm going to bring it up about cool, but please, if you do rail fanning video, model railroading video, like how-to video, or that, please do not set them to kid if you emote your bait or all your bait adult. And if you want to be adult oriented, please do not set it to kids. It will ruin your YouTube channel. I'm bringing that up right now. Oh, you don't live that far from me. I live in Ravenel for people who don't know. Like, yeah. Well, let me text him back. But yeah. But yeah, I live in Ravenel, South Carolina, for people who don't know. And for those people who don't know, I am using my tablet to send the message out. But yeah, that's how I'm doing it. But for those people who don't know, I did went to ABA therapy when I went through the school system. With it was the only way for me to stay in school. We were wrong on so many levels, and they are still doing it to our autistic people. Copa the gene. Yeah, I agree with you about Copa. Copa is a mess, and it just gets you, and this can be abused by corporations like Copa. If if we didn't have the corporations who took over YouTube and in government, the whole problem that we're having right now with Copa and YouTube would have never be happening. There were a reason why Obama put net neutrality in to stop shit like this from happening. He knew that the corporation can take advantage and abuse it what they are, and they're abusing it, and how we're getting screwed because of what happened. The corporation are getting away with stuff that they should not be getting away with. My point is that kick all the people who set the rules up in YouTube out, fire the main head, and fix all the screw ups that have happened. Yes, I agree with you too. I actually agree with that. Because look, it's something that the Chinese would do. They have already infiltrated our country and they are trying to set it at communism. And bad thing is, people who are autistic, we get enslaved, we get brainwashed, we get manipulated. Because there in China, if you're born autistic, you're screwed being a mindless slave for their country in any way they see fit for. And with their stuff over there, it's bad. Like, they are more advanced than us right now, but they are abusing it, trying to use it as a cover up for how bad they are with human rights and how they treat people. And literally, most of them child activist groups have narcissistic and toxic parents who are abusive in them. And look, I know that they want some video talking about narcissistic parents. I know that most people who comment are below 12 who said, "Thank you for the advice with dealing with my narcissistic mother, father." This gave me a red flag that, and I'll be honest about this. Yes, that is true because if I was born there in China, they would probably try to brainwash me and then turn me either into a soldier or a slave into their science or so. Because they do see it as a tool and not a person. But here in the US, they see it as a burden, a disaster, a disease. Like, there it's bad, here it's bad. But here, we're able to fight against the narcissistic people who just want to get rid of and annihilate us. Because here in the US, it's different. We are still dealing with a bad problem with our autistic community being treated wrong here in the US, but it's worse over there because instead of seeing it as a disease and as a burden, they see it as a tool, a weapon, literally. And I think I know reason why they know that because Albert Einstein and who created the computers and a lot of other people. So I think they realize the potential autistic people have and using them as a way to control and as a weapon. Here in the US, on the other hand, because of that hate organization we call Autism Speaks, with they are a hate organization, and the blue puzzles we represent a very dark theme that is bad, and them trying to find a prenatal test to find autism, and if that happens, that could be abused with abortions. With the abortion gene can be abused. Like it can be abused so badly, it ain't even funny. Like literally, but people don't realize that. Like Norway, 2019, no people with Down syndrome were born, and the reason why? Because they found a prenatal test to find people who have Down syndrome and narcissistic parents who want their kid to be perfect, perfect, like that. Literally, and I mean literally, did abortions, getting rid of them. So there were no autistic people, or not autistic people, people with Down syndrome born in 2019 because you can have we get an abortion in Norway, and Jane is that with abortion here and with that prenatal test because what happened there? They abused it, and that's it. What happened? And the Down syndrome community is right now dealing with a Holocaust because of that. And we're going to be dealing with one really soon if we don't stop Autism Speak in the organization who want to do prenatal tests on it. We need to stop it because it's bad. Like, it's really bad. And with them segregating autistic people, treating it different, being violent, sort of, and all that, it's not good. Like, when the 2018 shooting at that school happened, they said that person was autistic, and a lot more violent crimes against autistic people happened because of that. And one of the people who were part of Autism Speak, he is a nasty but famous person who is pretty bad with how he think of us. He said every autistic person should have no privacy, to be tracked and monitored. That almost like the Jews and what they went through with the Nazis. For fuck's sakes, that should have a red flag saying, yeah, this person is a Nazi, we need to take him down. This is stuff that we need to look because of him, there are more hate crimes against people like us because of him. Look, people who are autistic don't do hate crime or like crimes. You don't hear about it breaking laws often at people who are not autistic. And what we get hate crimes against us. We are a minority too. And literally, and Autism Speak actually supported a white supremacist group. Literally, they actually supported a white supremacist group. No joke. And that was bad. If I were the government, I would just brand them as a hate group and have most of their people who work for them arrested because that a red flag and that unacceptable. You can't have organization do this. Just like what organizations have done with YouTube and how they took over everything. But yeah. And yes, I agree with you, man. See, thank you. I agree with that, what he said. But yeah, my my fiance and me are autistic, but people don't know. But she's in California right now. But I'm going to be trying to see her in 2 weeks from now. But Autism Speak, they are a hate organization. Literally, all they did was patronize, made it look like worked in aid in cancer. Like they actually made a video like that. It was disgusting. But they sport bleaching of autistic people, like bleaching with actual bleach. Really, a group that includes Florida doing that? I don't think so. It's that bad that they support torture against autistic people. Like with electrotherapy, it's actually torture. Children Weinberg Center up in New York. They literally, there are video of this from almost a decade. Technically, it is over a decade ago, but they still do it. Where an autistic guy said no when they told him to take his jacket off, and it was that one word that caused them to chase him, tie him down to a bed, and electrocute him 16 times, and they laughed about it. Not to speak supports this. It the only point in the US that still do it, and it need to be outlawed. ABA therapy need to be outlawed because it's technically abusive dog training. It's just sickening, and it's still being getting away with, and literally did need to stop, and I mean it. Yes, my fellow friend, which is the Great Train Adventure, do have a YouTube channel for people who want to go to a YouTube channel. But yeah, it is amazing that this still happened with need to stop. And technically, my friend in Italy and Europe are trying to stop it from spreading over there because they know their days are almost numbered here because we're starting to stand up and send the message that we're not putting up with this anymore. And they're trying to go to Europe to try to keep their shit alive. It's not going to happen on my friend's watch. Like literally, emoji parents who support autism speak and support ABA therapy are narcissistic, and like they are narcissistic and toxic parents. Yeah, I admit that is sad too. The Great Train Adventure. I have to agree with you on that. That is sad. And it but like my friends are who live in Europe are trying to stop ABA therapy from going over there. And people who support it, what it said, are narcissistic, toxic parents. They want the perfect angel with what the fuck? Literally. It's that bad. The parents who want their kid to be like sick kids. And like literally. And meltdowns, you don't punish an autistic person for a meltdown. I have been punished so many times for it. I almost gave up on telling them how much pain I feel when I was younger. But me, crazy enough, I made it through. And it's right to punish somebody who do have a tantrum, but a meltdown, no. I don't think so because you're getting a metadone. We don't care if you have a meltdown. We want you to be like this. It's bad. It's just simply bad. It's just like this happen every day. We need to call it out for what it is. It's just abuse. Like literally. It get me so ticked off that it ain't funny. Like literally. And death like this still happen. Like if you see in the world on what go on, stuff like this actually does happen. And it just messed up how it keep on being getting away with. And narcissistic crazy people are still using it as a way to abuse other. If you guys understand what I'm saying, like literally, it's crazy. But stuff like this still happen, and it's crazy. But yeah, hmm, like it still happens for people who don't realize. Like stuff like this still happen on a daily basis. It might be crazy, but it still happens. Hmm. But yeah, here's something that from my fiance, and yet we're starting to get to my fiance stuff. So
My 2020 has started to thank people who are closed and not close to me for believing in me and my talent. Beaming face with smiling eyes. We'll fight as one.
mm-hmm, that from my fiance right there. But yeah,
The moment you were an awardee and didn't give you the right nor being told to do your acceptance speech on stage and even giving a song about your winning moments.
mm-hmm,
Especially preparing a song called A Moment Like This by Leona Lewis is the original song for my recent Angels Walk for Autism, in which I've been planning for that since the last year
mm-hmm,
before I was told to perform for the walk. However, it was finished. Really. I promise to join another international contest and represent my country once more and do my best, especially
mm-hmm.
those who are doubting on my talent.
And from my
Thus,
fiance
this will be my platform to continue my college education in both music and literature, then minor in communications.
Mm-hmm.
Not only one, not
Trying to
two,
go
but three
by
courses.
right now.
I hope you could all help me
I
out
can hear
fulfilling
it.
my dreams to graduate college with a degree.
There is actually a train going by right now for people who don't know. Because of how close I am to tracks. Yeah, it a heavy freight, but oh wow. But it is amazing. For people who use TikTok, please be careful. Make a fake account with TikTok. They are sketchy as can be for what I'm going to say. Like, reason why I say that is because of China. TikTok is Chinese. Saying was spreading up. I want to use it as a way to control what I don't think need to happen. And they're going to get away with it. Well, what? Well, yeah, there's a train going by right now. Like, it's crazy, but yes, I know you guys can't see me through. See right here, but there's actually a train that is slowing down and stopping. For people who don't know. Like, it might be crazy, but let me turn my laptop around. Like, out there, there are how quote tracks are. Like, they're actually. I know you guys can't see it from out there, but there is a train that we going by at the moment. It's just that you can't see it because of the tree line. Literally. Wait a minute, I gotta plug my. And it might be slowing down because of a meetup. Might be crazy, but yeah. Like, I do live near tracks. Like, yes, I agree with that. What the area I live by, what tracks I live by, are is sighting here in Ravenel, and there is a industry or plant that is there by rail right down the road that way here in Ravenel that do get bulk cars and hopper. They sometimes do get tankers. It's very rare, but it's the fertilizer plant. And that place did call them. You know that how close we are to tracks. Like if you look like I'm pointing that way like what tracks are right there, but you can't see it that good with the trees. Mm-hmm. That horn wild. I have the window open. Mm-hmm. I'm right by the tracks. Did that tree line? I have to walk down towards tree line in order to record trains on video. I can't do it from the room because I can see some trees, but it's very hard. Oh, and I think here I am track. Yep, it's a meetup. Here I am track coordinate distance, meaning if I'm right, that's the auto train. But once both trains are fully buckled, I'm going to be shutting down the window again. I did have planned to do a if they were going to be fireworks, which they were not, for New Year Eve this year. Which yes, I'm only going to be using that sub for. Oh, it is. Yes, it is the auto train. So the auto train is coming, huh? And it is a double. It is sighting right here, where I live. I will show you guys on Google Maps on my phone. You can hear the freight train that are actually going by right now moving. Okay. You see that little blue dot? That where I am. And right up there, a train track. Yep, that's an auto train. Well, let's see if we're able to see it. I'm listening for it. Well, it's coming. Oh, there we go. You guys are probably not able to see it, but I just saw the lights of it go by. But like through the window, like tracks are right down there. I think that I would free one would cut. I'm not sure. if the road, well, yeah, well, right here where I am, like, you can hear trains go by. Like, Blue Dot in me and train tracks are right there. With that, how close I am to tracks for people who don't realize. But yeah, yes, I did. I read your last comment and I did. It was pretty good. But yeah, the train is picking up speed now. And I hear the TPU. Here comes the back of it. You can hear the train that close to my house. And I think TPU will laugh part of the train because now it's starting to get quiet. Meaning that was the end of the train. Yes, I did read your last three comments. I did read them. There we go. The one. Yes, I read that one. The one that the train my video was. Yes, I read it. No, I am not a good reader for people who know. The reason why I have that little thing on my phone to help me with reading. That's the reason why. And I can burn that on back when how they treated me in elementary school. I'm not a good reader, so I do have a problem with some words. I'm not a good reader, to be honest. The Great Train Adventure. I'm not a good reader, but I do read some, and I did read some of yours. Yes, I know. I will agree that they did have not did a bus transit system from Somerville to downtown Toronto. They should have done a light rail system. That I'll be honest about. hmm I agree with that. They should have. They should have done that. Like not a bus, an actual train. They should have. That would have worked. And I am friends with you on Facebook. hmm And yes, I know you were talking about the transit. It's that. Oh, they are doing? Oh, I thought they were doing that stupid bus transit thing with the bus on their own route with concrete in the middle. Because that's like if it's on tire instead of metal rails, it's not a train. And we have a population that need a light rail transit and not a bus metro. A city on the other side that is near San Francisco made that mistake. And they're now building a light rail metro because of it. No buses are not. Yes, I agree with that. But yeah, now what gets it? another thing that I would talk about because we've been going on for over an hour and 5 minutes, but I can keep it on for another couple of minutes. Charleston needs to have, for people who don't know, like the bus terminal in downtown Charleston. That you've not been a bus terminal. That you've been a Union Jason or like a termination of some passenger train. I looked it up some and did some history digging. Like there you've been a train station right in the middle of downtown Charleston, right where the bus metro is. And how I know that from studying how tracks were in downtown Charleston. I've been looking them up. I'm taking like a little archaeologist. Me too. Yes. Now they do have the best friend at Charleston with it. Exactly what for power team partner train in the U.S. in that bus terminal. Now team locomotive exactly now over probably really soon, probably almost over 200 years old. So it's actually one of the oldest steam locomotives here in South Carolina and probably in the world right now that have not been screwed up. But let me find where the bus terminal is. Because I went by it back a few years ago when my YouTube channel was younger. But I'm looking for it. Gonna take a couple minutes. Hmm. But bus terminal area you've been. Oh, okay, man. What I'm about done anyway. This area right here in downtown Charleston, you've been a Union Jason. Like if you've been an 8-track, like a 4 to 8 track platform, and like you've been big enough for about a 20-car partner train to a 30-car one. Like and tracks you go behind it and around to the industrial zones. But well, the track is gone now. But yeah.
Favorite animal? The elephant's smiling face with hard eyes. Because it's cute and a very sturdy animal. The elephant's traits are unique because it has a strong personality and being fearless and very focused in life. What a strong and sturdy friend we have now in this cute elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, beaming.
Mm-hmm. And that was from my fiance Val. But yeah, now the thing is that if we do high, it's about bringing up. If we do think about having high speed go through Charleston, it's going to have to be under downtown Charleston, and they're going to have to be underground train station. There is a way to do it. It's something they did in England back when they were building subway system over there. It to freeze the ground, like literally, like we should freeze the ground like what they did in England in order to work it. But yeah, and it probably could work because using an old abandoned Carolina Savannah line, where you'd go to Johns Island, all the way to Hollywood, South Carolina, and Mudcourt to Coast, that area was much straighter, meaning it can pick up higher speeds and it can actually be really reliable with passenger service. But they pulled track ups before Hugo, in the 80s, 70s, and 80s were pretty dumb, what they should have never done. But yeah, now let's get to last scene on the live stream, and then I'll be calling it a night.
This is my first remake version of the year, and it was a tough cookie for me to juggle from housework to recording songs. So Patience speaks more words, and this recording went well so far. Listen and enjoy. Beaming face with smiling eyes.
It from my fiance Phil. Now we will get to the song. It on YouTube, and by the way, because my fiance and see it one singing it, it not copyright. That's from my fiance.
I wish I could stop it, wish I could fight it, but there's nothing I can do. I thought that we were meant for each other. Oh, how
Beautiful
I wish
lady.
I knew you better. I played a fool so many times, can't even count it. Every time I say goodbye, you try to hold me by your side. Gonna find my way out of your hands, find a shelter
they
from
don't.
the pain. Every time you say your lies, I hide away and close my eyes. I won't let you tear my world apart. Gonna find a shelter for my heart. I thought that it was supposed to hurt me. I thought that it was love. Oh, I put my hands up, but I won't surrender. Don't need what doesn't serve me anymore. I climb walls so that I can keep on fighting. Every time I say goodbye, you try to hold me by your side. Couldn't find my way out of your hands, find a shelter from the pain. Every time you say your lies, I hide away and close my eyes. I won't let you tear my world apart. Gonna find a shelter for my
We have a freight train that's on the switch. It's further actually, but that is it. Maybe you can really because it's like it's supposed to yeah, I think it should too, but it's a song. And it has been written to my fiance music. But I agree with you. It should stop here because there is open enough outlets that they do that, but they do not. So yeah. And that was from my fiance with her most recent song. But Jane is that Amtrak don't stop here in Ravenel. It used to back. Oh, sorry about that. Well, music was from my fiance. But the Amtrak train do not stop here in Ravenel. It used to back in the 70s and early 80s, but after that, it stopped. It used to. Now, I do catch the auto train. I only caught it about 2 times on video. And one for during nighttime and one for down at railroad crossing down that way in the area I'm pointing at. But trains do not stop here in Ravenel, their partner. Now, if it letting another train go by, then yes. But if it a freight train, the only time a freight train stop here in Ravenel is you switch out the further point or let another train go by. Those are the only reason why. But yeah, ooh, I feel like I got a bump on my side. But I'll say that later on. But Amtrak do not stop here in Ravenel at all. There's no pattern train that stop here. They do go on by and head to downtown Charleston or Norcross to be more exact. But yeah. And I am planning to get the drone registered with. For people who don't know it, yes, I do have a drone. Ooh. Area in my bed, but yes, I have a drone. It might sound crazy, but I really do. And I do have plans. I did took it out on my Christmas video when I did had Christmas. So yes, I do have plans to use this for rail fanning, but that'll be once I get everything set up. Now I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I hope you guys had a great Friday night, or not Friday night, Saturday night. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I hope you guys enjoy my content and all the above, and I will talk to you guys later. Signing out. Bye, guys.